Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we've got just the camera a little bit. Today we've got another URC kind of deep dive. Now I am gonna do after the next round, that'll be after the 5th round, we'll do a kind of 5-week power ratings and see roughly where each team's at and see who's performing more or less expected. There's some teams who are doing better than we thought they would. There's some teams that are doing slightly worse than we thought they would. There always is. But today I wanted to look at why the South African teams are struggling so far. I've seen quite a few people online talk about this and question about it, and I just wanted to get my little say in. Let's just get straight into it. If you enjoy the video, make sure to subscribe for more rugby news and analysis and stuff, and I shall see you when we're in, and we shall dive straight in. So, starting off, we want to look at what has gone on with the South Africans and where they're at and why some people are saying that they've done poor, which I think on a whole isn't the way to put it. I think some teams are performing slightly less than expected. Some teams are actually doing better. So, for example, we look at the Bulls. The Bulls are top of the league at the minute, winning 3 of their 4 games. The game they lost was away to Ulster, which, to be honest with you, you'd expect them to lose normally. So, to me, the Bulls are doing completely fine. Even if you look at the last few seasons, the starts, again, last year, they went 3-1. They lost away to Glasgow, which, again, a game that you'd probably expect them to lose. Not to lose as in the French team, but to lose. And then 2021, all South Africans struggled at the start. They only won one of the first 4 games. All South African teams struggled. So we're going to kind of ignore 2021 and the first season. But last year especially, they're doing the same. They lost a game that you'd expect them to lose away to a tough team. And won all the rest. Next up, Stormers. At the minute, they're 9th in the table. They are 2 wins, 2 losses. So again, not horrible. Although they might not be happy with that. The losses, which was it Glasgow and Benetton they lost to, both away. I mean, you'd expect them to lose to Glasgow away. Benetton, a bit of a shock, but Benetton are actually playing quite well at the minute. So, again, don't be too thinged. Last year, they went 4-0. They'd won all 4 of their first games. 2021, 1-1, drew 1, lost 2. Again, don't look at 2021 for South African teams, especially at the start of the year. Towards the end, you can fair enough, because Stormers did go on and win it. It was a full South African final, so they obviously did pick it up. But towards the start of the year, it was probably the biggest shock is the Sharks, who are down in 16th, dead last in the table. I believe. Or have they taken over Dragons? No, they're still dead last. Dragons have a couple of bonus points. Sharks only have 1. But yeah. So they haven't won a game yet. Losing all their games, they've lost to Zebra. Sharks have been poor. Stormers and Bulls, fair enough. You lose to tough teams away. Benetton is a tough place to go. Sometimes a lot of big teams do trip up there. Glasgow and Ulster, again, those 2 are very good teams. But Sharks haven't been good. They really haven't. Now, Sharks aren't quite what I would say on the level that Bulls and Stormers are. I think Stormers, from my experience with the South African teams, you've got Stormers, Bulls, Sharks, and you've got Lions probably down a bit here. Kind of in amongst all the rest. Stormers are top, Sharks are somewhere near top, Bulls are somewhere just off top, maybe top 5, 6. Bulls are 8th. Lions are about 10th, is where I would expect. But yeah, so Sharks, they haven't been good at all. You look last year, 1-2, lost 2. That's slightly better of a start. 2021 again we don't look at, but they won 1, lost 3, so even that was a better start. And in the Lions, to be honest, again the Lions are probably doing as expected. They've won 1, lost 3. The game they won was away to Scarlets. The games they lost were at home to Stormers, away to Edinburgh, and what was the other game the Lions have played? Round 3, wasn't it? The Lions, they lost to Benetton away again. So you see, that's 2 South African teams that have slipped up on Benetton. Like, Benetton aren't a bad team. But yeah, don't be too. Again, the Lions lost to Stormers, lost to Edinburgh, and lost to Benetton. You'd expect them to lose all 3 of those games, if I'm going to be brutally honest. But yeah, you look at it's 2022. They actually had a really good start. They won 3, lost 1, and in 2021 they had the exact same start as this. They won 1, lost 3. So Lions, I think they more had a really good start last year, which is why a few people are raising eyebrows about the start this year, which I wouldn't worry too much about. But we now go on to a few reasons. World Cup. That's the big one. The World Cup. It's only been a couple of weeks since the final. South Africans, all their players were playing in the final, whereas you look at all the other teams, the furthest teams were Ireland and Wales, who both made the quarters. That's which were played 2 weeks before. And then you have the Scottish and Italians, which went out the week before that in the pools. So they've had a lot more time to bring their internationals back. Their internationals were rested, but they're just, for the Scottish ones, it was round 3 they started really coming back. For the Irish and Welsh, I think at the weekend you sort of started seeing some of the bigger names coming back, and again some haven't yet. So South Africans, you may not be without the big names for another week or 2. Also the start, they are away in Europe quite a lot again for the start of the season, which is I think why we can't judge the start for them. It'll just mean they'll have a run of home games, and we know what the South African teams are quite like. They're better at home than they are away. South Africa can beat anyone at home, all the teams can, but away they do struggle. They will trip up on the Benettons, the Edinburghs, some of the Welsh, the Scarlets. I'm not going to really think about the Welsh teams at the minute because they have another story of poor, but the South African teams do trip up away quite frequently. And yeah, the start of the season's always full of away games for them. When it comes to February, March, towards the end of the season, they will have lots of home games and they will pick up wins because European teams seem to not be so good away from home, or in South Africa should I say. And then as well, the settling in, I think it'll take about 5 or so years for them to properly settle into the URC. Now, I think we're starting to get a rough idea of where they are. As I said before, Stormers, I would put top 3. Bulls probably about 5th, 6th. Sharks about 7th, 8th, and then Lions about 10th. If I was just to rank them off how good I thought they were compared to each other. Personally, maybe you guys have a different opinion on them, but that's personally how I see it. But yeah, but still not 100% sure. We can gather how good they are, but still, as well, form. Teams go up and down. I'm an Edinburgh fan. We take Edinburgh last year, we were crap. The season before that, we were decent. So far this season, we've been alright. So, might just have a poor run of form, have a bad season. It happens. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people questioning this online and that, and I thought I'd get my word in. That's really what I think. I think some of the teams, I think it's Stormers and Sharks mainly that people are concerned about. The Sharks, yes, I can see. Stormers, don't worry about it. I don't think the Stormers really have done much wrong. yes, the playing hasn't looked that great as well as just the results. But you've not got your full players. You can't judge the play style. You know, when the likes of Libok, Willemsen, that come back, that's when you want to look at how Stormers are playing. But yeah, that's kind of it from me today. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think and why the South Africans are struggling. If you think they are, if you think, you know, they'll all of them will win the next 10 games and be completely fine. Maybe not 10 games, win the next 3 games. I hope not, because Bulls are playing Edinburgh next. So, but I'll do a URC preview probably tomorrow. But yeah, thank you for watching, and until next time, I shall see you later.